No. In the name of the everlasting Father, he that causes all that exists to exist, he that is self-existent, he who directs the sunships of millions and trillions of years, he who made time to see that the universe. He's known among the ancient Kemites, or Egyptians as Amun-Ra and Aten. Among the Hebrews as Ansof, Yahweh, Elohim. Among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah. Among the Muslims as Allah, the one God. Among the Rastafarians is Jah, Rastafari. Among the Yoruba tribe as Olodumare, Obatala, and many other Orisha gods. But I bear witness that all of those names refer to the same one, Almighty God. And it is to him whom I give reverence and to whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we, those children of those black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, are that lost 13 tribe born here in North America, and that we are of a Nubian Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all the nations of the world flow through our veins. I greet you all in the ancient but yet holy words of peace, which are Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Alafia, and Ashe. All greeting words and salutations of peace in the many different languages of our fathers. I greet you in peace. Welcome, welcome to the Toma Nation. This is our Wednesday spiritual study class, but we're going live today, and we do have a live audience inside of the studio as well as coming to you all live for part 2 of our Sunday lecture entitled The Harlot and the Beast. If you did not hear the lecture from Sunday, just come on the Toma Nation Facebook page and you'll be able to listen to that and then compare it to what you're going to hear today. There's not too much in review, I'm going to say, but what I want to do is, again, say that the Temple of Mercy Association as a whole do not get involved in political things. We have, as a movement, supported people that we believe might do good on our behalf, but basically we don't get involved in political things. We do not persuade the members in their whatever they decide they want to do when it comes to voting. If they want to vote, they can vote. Me personally, I don't vote. Have I voted before in my life? Yes, I have. Long time ago, Mayor Hill, Washington. And until I see a person with that light on them like I saw on the mayor, I will not vote. But if I see the light on any of them, I will vote. I didn't see a light on Obama. I didn't see a light on this mayor that we have right now, Mayor Johnson. You know, but I supported Mayor Johnson, but I did not vote for Mayor Johnson. I just thought I'd say that. Hope it don't make you feel any difference concerning what I have to bring you today. Can somebody bring me some? We got any water? Thank you. Okay, well, let me get down to this. First, I want to say this before I go into it like I did before. In the Bible, in Revelation, it talks about a beast. And it also talks about a harlot. A harlot is the same thing as if you would call a prostitute or what they may call a whore. And Revelation 13, it speaks of the beast. And it talks about the many heads that it had, which is letting you know that this beast ruled many governments. Ruled many governments and had the power of persuasion to rule these governments. And the thing about the harlot is in Revelation 17, verses 1 to 6. And so with Trump talking about make America great again, and what's her name, Kamala, you know, they call her all kinds of stuff, with her running for president, but she's already vice president, so she's already over America, but she's just the vice president. But her vibration, her energy that she emits, I'll use that term, comes from her background and how she made it to that height in her career. Most of them said, most people say that she, how would I say this in a nice way?
She wrote the elevator to the top.
They say she, I don't know what to call it.
She used sex to get ahead.
Huh?
She used sex to get ahead.
She used sex to get ahead. That's it, which is what harlots do. They use sex for money. They use sex to get ahead. And so that's why I dub both of them in running for this office of the United States as a harlot and a beast. Both being in Revelation is letting you know that the time has come for us to recognize that we are in the day of judgment with all of the natural disasters that are going on throughout the land. We're in the day of judgment. And so what I want to do real quick is read a few things to you. I'm going to read about the harlot. Revelation 17, verses 1 to 6. And there came one of the seven angels which had seven vials, V-I-A-L-S, which are basically test tubes, letting you know that these angels are men with test tubes, scientists with test tubes. And this is John, the Revelator, saying, they talked to him, saying unto him, come hither, I will show thee the judgment of the great whore that sit upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman, Kamala, sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of the abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunk with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yeshua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. In America, the Holy Bible is symbolized as the mother of harlots. So her coming in, if she win, will fit in her role as a mother of harlots, being in that position, in that office. She's already that, being the vice president. And so far, basically, what I've noticed she's been doing is going to African countries in Africa, trying to persuade the African leaders to accept homosexuality in their country. They kicked her out of a couple of them. I don't know what happened in the rest of them, but why would that be her mission? Why would she take up that assignment knowing that Africa, the majority, really more than the majority of Africans, does not push that type of an agenda? And that most times, if they find out that you're doing that or being that or whatever it is, they will put you in jail and or execute you. So here she comes, the mother of all harlots, to our country to try to bring her whoredoms to that country.
And she don't have no biological children.
I didn't know that. And don't have any biological children of her own, one of the members just said. Poor little harlot. Well, anyway, that's why I said the harlot and the beast. Then you got the beast, all right, of Revelation. Let me see if I can find something on this beast. The beast of Revelation being Trump himself with the 7 horns. Anybody got a Bible? No? It's in Revelation 13, if you find it. I want to give you 4 judgments that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad brought upon America. This is back in 1964. Tell me if it sounds like today. The 4 great judgments that Almighty God is bringing upon America are rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. Y'all do know there was an earthquake in LA not too long ago, too. Mm-hmm. All right. He says, we see them now covering all sides of America, as the Holy Quran prophesies, curtailing America on all her sides. So way over there in the West Coast, then way over here in the East Coast, and even down in Texas, you'll see. Coming from that ocean, you're going to be hearing about hurricanes and whatnot over in that area real soon. And these judgments would push the people into the center of the country, into the center, and they would realize that it is God who is bringing them and their country to a naught. Job in the Bible prophesies that God has the snow and ice to use as his weapon in the day of war and battle against the wicked. We hear and read in the newspapers today of how great hill-like little mountains of snow are pushing down from the north, not only in the northern states of Minnesota, North and South Dakota, and Montana, but now the snow is in the New England states, and they are declared to be disaster areas. The announcer of the disaster of snow in New England states said that there have never been such great quantities of snow all up and down the coast to the Carolinas. The rain takes up where the snow leaves off. Well, the Carolinas just was hit with Hurricane Helene. And a lot of people in those mountains are still up in those mountains, dying, starving, with no hope, no help, cut off, bridges down and can't get across. America's not doing all that they can in order to save them. See, America today, brothers and sisters, has a mental problem. And because of this mental problem, it could be bipolarism, it could be paranoid schizophrenia, but because of this mental problem, it has no heart for its own citizens anymore. And that is a shame. That's a shame. Whatever they have that they're planning or what they're trying to save themselves from is more important than trying to save some people from these natural disasters. Right now, that's what's going on. And when I say America, I'm not talking about its citizens per se. I'm talking about its billionaires. See, you all gonna realize one day that I'm telling the truth, that these billionaires run this world. The billionaires run this world. Then he said, well, before I go there, when you look at what's going on right now as we speak, there's another hurricane, calling it Milton, which have broke all records already because this country only categorizes hurricanes up to 5. Or is it 4? I think it's 5 is the highest. They just haven't had one that, there. But they're talking about this one being close to a 6. That's off the charts. They're talking about that when it hits at 5, that it's going to do more damage than Helena. But right behind that hurricane, brothers and sisters, is Nadine. There are 19 hurricanes in the waters right now. Right now. As of right now. And the you know how you send out the cavalry first, the first group, where they, if you in the castle, they shoot the arrows first at the people out there before they go hand-to-hand combat.
Right, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And that's what they do also. They throw little big boulders of fire into the castle and whatnot. Well, God in his infinite wisdom sent out his first cavalry. He sent 10 tornadoes to Florida today ahead of the hurricane. And then after the 10 tornadoes, then comes the hurricane. So we're going to see the devastation concerning that tomorrow. He says, Elijah Muhammad says, all around the southern border of America, storms are raging. There are tornadoes and heavy rains, and more storms are on the way, one right after another. This is 1964, y'all. And in the north and far west and in the east, America is surrounded with the judgments of God. There are earthquakes and the sea is raging. The Pacific Ocean is now angry and is raging and tossing up great waves as never before. Wait till Lake Michigan start doing it.
Yes, sir. This 19 tornadoes touched down in Florida. Had a hurricane Milton 22 minutes ago.
Thank you. See? Keep on doing that too to keep me on track. Because I want to make sure I'm telling our people the truth, not just something I'm thinking. See? And see, not only even that, I call that the first wave. Everybody's saying that Katrina was bad. No, they're going to make Katrina look like it was a bedtime story. All right? And then the prisoners, I never knew it was a law or something that in case of a flood or some sort of natural disaster, that they won't let the prisoners out. No, that all the staff supposed to bring them all what they need to survive, and then they leave. But they don't let you out. You can break out, but you won't. And from that understanding, I went and researched dealing with Katrina, and 600 prisoners died in prison because they couldn't get out, and they got flooded.
And nursing homes.
Nursing homes too?
Yeah.
Yep, because they didn't evacuate them, and the staff left the old people, and they died.
Yeah. So if 600 died, imagine how many gonna be dead after tonight. Now, understand this too. We know that God's wrath is real. And we do know that when Helena went through the towns, each one of them towns that have been demolished were considered what they call today sundown towns. Now, you have to listen to my last lecture to know what a sundown town is. But I'm trying to tell you that if America is going to be great again, then we got to be considered as 3/5 of a human being. And all of you black people who are getting close to white people, if you could actually look through their eyes at you when they do see you, and they just falsely act like you their friend, you would realize how despicable you look to them. See? because they already feel like you out of place. They already feel like you shouldn't be at the table with them. They already feel like, who do you think you are, because you got this money and whatnot, that you think you can, have the same kind of privileges I got. This is the white man thinking. See, so I'm gonna let you know that if you black man thinking you this white man friend, you got another thought coming when a disaster hit. You know who his best friend is? That dog sitting next to him. He gonna grab that dog, leave your black behind right there.
In Florida is also the home of Stanley Brown, Trayvon Martin, and they let what's his name go kill him to the life.
And speaking of all of the killings, y'all, we talking about making America great. See, understand this. When America was great, we not only were freshly out of slavery, but they still had slaves. You had the freed ones, and you had those who were still enslaved. The last plantation that I read about that was discovered was in 19, what was it? 90, what was it? 19, I don't forgot. I think it was 1969 or 1980.
Yeah, it was in the 60s.
It was in the 60s.
It was like 68 or 69.
1969.
Civil rights movement.
That's right. And the people didn't know they were free. They were in some kind of plantation way deep out in the woods. And the white man was coming into the city every day.
Hundreds of acres.
Hundreds of acres. And they were living way out, and I mean, you wouldn't have never found them. And you'd be surprised that it's probably still plantations today.
Yeah, I ain't surprised.
Today. See, don't forget, even though they're talking about Javion McGee, who was lynched, he was from Chicago. His little town, Asheville, is totally destroyed. That town that they killed him in, the little sundown town, it does not exist anymore. Helene destroyed it. But we can go all the way back and just look and see what town was it where they took a man, put a rope around his neck, drug him on the back of a truck all throughout the neighborhood, and then left his dismembered body in front of a black elementary school. Say that was in Texas. Was that in the 2000s or was that in the 1900s? 2000s. I'm trying to show you all something. See, everybody thinking that this just now happening. And what about just recently, not too long ago, when a guy was running, jogging, and some white guys in a truck with a rifle shot him.
Yeah, that was
I remember that. Then later on after that, we were dealing with George Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
When they had him on his chest, he cried for his mom, and they had their knee on his neck and killed him. Well, now we move on up to, again, the other lynchings. The 18-year-old who they hung on a tree directly across the street from a black elementary school in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, a couple of weeks ago. Can you imagine your elementary school child going to school one day and seeing somebody hanging from a tree? Elijah Muhammad saw that when he was a child. He was, he came up from Georgia. And I believe he said he was going through some backwoods or something around his house. And he lucked upon, I don't call it luck, but he walked upon a scene where he saw a man hanging from the tree, and it shocked him. And he ran. And he spoke about that in one of his books, Fall of America, or Message to the Black Man. So I'm saying that the past is our present right now. It's going to look exactly the same. I don't care how technology has changed, but our past now is our present. Why? Because as long as that word is out, make America great again, from the day that Trump stepped into office, we going backwards. We, black people, are going backwards. We're not going forward. It's going to get worse. It's going to be like it was in my time when we couldn't go to Marquette Park and we couldn't go to Bridgeport, but it might be a different suburb or whatever this time around. But it's going there, you all. Why? Because there is no resistance from black people. We are change agents, but we're not trying to change. We want to continue to run up and kiss up to and hang out with and beg white people to do for us what we can do for ourselves.
Latinos already showed us what it was.
Latinos, the immigrants. You know, everybody coming in and they gaining and they getting whatever they got to get, and what we doing? Sitting back watching, sitting back begging, watching the tax dollars. That's what we watching. Watching the grant money while they moving in. Well, brothers and sisters, the greatest deception ever going on right now is all those black people who believe Trump got our best interests at hand.
There was an Inglewood. I'm a Trumpian.
That is going to be the greatest deception ever, because we believe that he is for us.
White people got to make America great again. Black people got to wear shirts. I'm a Trumpian.
I'm a Trumpian. Y'all crazy.
The irony.
So I'm showing you that, just so you all can understand, if Kamala wins, all she's going to do is slow down the inevitable, which is the fall of America. She'll slow it down, but that means Trump can run again. It slowed down when he didn't win. Trump was ordained by God to bring about the fall of America. And he's doing his job. If he gets in, he'll be able to finish his job. If he doesn't get in, he'll come back again after 4 years and run again. Everything he does in his campaign is helping bring America down. This man is telling all the secrets to the enemies. Every time he tells about a weak part of America, you know China hear that, Russia hears that, and any other country that want to go up against America hear everything. He just exposed all of America's weak points, weak spots, everything, and he don't care because he has a mental problem. See?
Yeah, white supremacy.
It's crazy, y'all. Let me get to another one that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. Say, why should these things hit America? Revelation teaches you why. It's because America is filled with devils and has such unclean persons living in America. That's true. It's under the symbolism of a hateful bird. Every hateful caged bird, every filthy, slimy, wicked person comes here for a haven of rest, where he can do any wickedness he wants to do. The country is open and welcomes that type of person.
Because that's how it was founded.
It was founded on wickedness and lies. As we see, now this is him saying about Muslims. Well, he talking about the nation on that one. I'm gonna move on to the other stuff. These are not the days of Noah, Lot, and Abraham, nor are these the days of Moses. These are new times. The enemy does not get away in punishing the righteous just because he hates them. God, the God of righteousness, is with us. He just laughs at those who try to fight against him. He's destroyed whole nations with less than the power of rain, snow, hail, and earthquakes. The Holy Quran has the record of people even being destroyed by gnats. God does not have to have something great. He does not have to go to work and get a block of iron or a mountain and throw it on him. He uses that which is with you against you. The forces of nature are great weapons as we see them in play upon America, storm after storm. Storms of snow, ice, rolling in from the north, pushing great drifts that are just covering up everything. What can you do with a God like that? Job prophesies that God has his weapons stored up to use them in the day of battle and war with the wicked. He just takes some snow and covers them up. See, most times, you know, you got people out here that's saying that this is some conspiracy when we say that's just God or whatever, you know. And you even have people who would say, why do they believe in some kind of God that's doing this and whatnot? We could say the earth is fighting back if we want to really put it the way we need to put it.
Okay.
The earth is fighting back because this earth was created to be a planet of peace. And the people on it were supposed to be peacemakers and peacekeepers. And it's still, I heard so, a planet of peace.
Who's else on here? Those creatures.
It might be water. It's still a planet of peace.
And look at.
But the people on it are murderous people who've been killing for 1,000 years or more, slaughtering thousands, hundreds of thousands. They show the movies and they glorify it. The Ottoman Empire, the Roman Empire, the Vikings, the Persians, and then they all battling and fighting, and then at the end of the fight, you see thousands laid out dead. Been killing off thousands for years. That white man, he loves blood. Is that water coming down?
Not the water that's running in between the four of us in the basement.
And so, knowing that this man got that much blood on his hands, and knowing how he decided to even start destroying the forces, the force, F-O-R-E-S-T, how he's destroying the ozone, how he's destroying the ocean. He's destroying all of this, and now the earth itself is fighting back. The water, that's all the earth got is water, rain, snow, hail, earthquakes, atmosphere, and it's fighting back. So if you don't want to believe in God, I bet you believe your planet fighting back. Because it is. And guess what? We are applauding. Toma is applauding the planet with every victory. But you would think it would be crazy when we say that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that God would take care of America himself. He would take care of America for what America has done to us in America, to the slaves, from the transatlantic slave trade all the way down to now. The jails is another form of slavery. And they set it up to where there's more black people in these prisons than it is white. They set it up where the prisons itself are in different suburbs in different states in order to raise their population so they can get more resources. But the slaves in jail don't get none of that, but they're being used. They are some of the biggest stocks, these prisons, on the market with our bodies in there. We in America have the most people in jail on the planet, over 2,000, and more than 50% of them are black. It's close to about 70%, and maybe more. I have a statistic person here that normally can tell what it is, but I know it's more than 50. So our black bodies are there, and it's not because we are doing the most crime. It's not that.
464,200 black inmates in the country.
In the country.
Almost 500,000.
So there you have it. And it probably, I don't know where you got that statistic from, but it's probably more than that. Because we got the unaccounted in jails. I don't know if y'all know about them. People don't come see them no more. So they get lost inside the prison system and they just live there until they die. It's a bunch of them. Unknown. So we're still in slavery. I'm going to give you one more. 13th Amendment, which says that we are free as long as we are not convicted of a crime. In other words, all of those in jail that are black are slaves now. All of those who are out here who have been convicted and walking around are slaves again. This is the unspoken word. But the Constitution says it. That's the only way we can be put back into slavery, and that's if we are convicted of a crime.
For slavery and involuntary servitude.
Involuntary servitude. That's slavery. So without them saying it, you're talking about making America great again? Oh, they know what they're doing. It's not for us, knucklehead black people. It's not for us when it's talking about make America being great. No, it's against us because they're going to use us as servitude slaves again. See?
It's a forbid chattel slavery across the United States and its territories. Remember, we got to include the territories that the United States has because it's also legal there, that you can use chattel slavery for criminal punishment.
Chattel slavery for criminal punishment. And if you look at it, brothers and sisters, as long as we continue to just sound like we begging for something all the time, we are no threat to the enemy. And every time you let this enemy convince you to be quiet, when you see him go after Diddy, when you saw him go after Cosby, when you see him go after most of our entertainers and sports figures, when they try to be on top and equal with this white man, but he shows you who has the real power, then we just cower down and go in our little corner with our tail stuck between our butts. I have to say it just what it looks like. Shaking in the corner. That's our problem. We won't fight. Brothers and sisters, it cannot be a revolution without bloodshed. I know you'll say, but cyber attacks and this and that and all that. Yeah, but what about when they break in that room where you at and beat your natural born?
Cyber attacks can
That's what I'm talking about.
I said you can have bloodshed through cyber attacks because you got to remember the internet controls our water, air, and everything.
I'll be stopping at 8, but I just want to read this stuff so you all can understand what's happening. We're looking at God's judgment on America. Ain't no bombs hitting us, so the natural disasters is doing it. Ain't no planes dropping bombs or nothing. Because according to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the prophet of the 20th century, for black people, children of slaves, he prophesies that America, that God will not let other countries destroy it, but he's going to save America for himself. And America will be charged with, well, I can't even say charged. America will be struck with God's wrath based on how America has treated black people here and how America is continuing to treat black people right here. So you think we do feel for people because we are human. I do feel for those people up in those mountains. I feel bad when people, I used to feel bad when I used to whoop my children. I felt bad, but they had to be disciplined. I felt bad, and y'all, y'all say, wow, he said he whooped his children on the air and this and that. Yes, I did. And they'll tell you too. So I guess one day they're gonna do like they do with the sexual crimes, that you can go call people back 30 years ago. My kids can come and do an interview and say, yes, he did whoop me. Oh, get him arrested for a crime that he did back then. Man, America crazy as hell. I got God on my side. And y'all come at me if you want to, and it'll be a whole nother different thing. You think the weather bad now. Do what you got to do with me and watch what happens to Chicago itself. That's all I tell you. That's all I can tell you. because I know it to be the truth. Let me read a little more. I'm just reading. Now, this after 8, ain't it? Y'all gonna have
Yes,
I gotta go to
it's
8:30, don't I?
Yeah, that's why I say no.
Now, I want you all to see something real quick. I'm going to show you how this Bible knows exactly what's happening in our communities and everywhere. Revelation 19, 17 to 21 says, I saw an angel standing in the sun. He cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great God. You all do notice that pigeons went downtown, but we got hawks in our communities, in the inner cities of America.
Falcons.
We got falcons, we got buzzards, we got crows, we got seagulls that ain't even thought about being near the seashore. All in our community, eating French fries and hamburgers and chicken and the bones and cats and dogs, and they're practicing. Says that you might eat the flesh of kings and the flesh of captains and the flesh of mighty men, flesh of horses and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. They waiting. They waiting on us to say, charge, get them. Get them. Brothers and sisters, black men, black women, they waiting on us. When I say they waiting on God, they waiting on us. But we won't move. Yes, they'll listen to you. I'll send the bees, because me and bees, we got a report. I know y'all think I'm crazy, but everybody around me done seen bees on my hand, on cans and all that. Me and bees have a report. Mess with me, I'll send the bees. And I saw the beast, Trump, and those who think like him, and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. This man on the horse, sitting on a white horse. And he has this thing across his body that says, what does it say? Something of God. Can't remember. But he's leading an army of those on white horses to have battle with the beast. And so it says, he gathered together to make war against him. They gathered together to make war with him that sat on the horse and against his army. The beast was taken, with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. Brothers, that's the hell that they're telling you about that was in the Old Testament and the New Testament. This was a big ditch that they dug, almost like a Grand Canyon. And they kept it hot by pouring tar and different things down there and keeping the fire burning. And when they sentenced you, you were thrown in hell. You were thrown in hell and you burnt up. Now, here's the last part I like. And the remnant was slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth. Talking about the word of God. And not only that, it's the word that you give to nature and its animals and its insects. See, these hurricanes were prophesied by the animals years ago, when the goats was walking counterclockwise, when the sheep were walking counterclockwise, when the horses were walking counterclockwise, and they were all together going clockwise. See, they was already initiating something. They was unlocking something in the universe that set all this stuff off. Remember, your warning comes from the animals first. See, right now, when they were showing before Hurricane Milton got here, it was some cranes. They were showing them, skinny little cranes who never made no sounds, walking together, like side by side, about 4 or 5 of them walking down the street in a town. You might find it. And they were making noises as if they were trying to tell the people, get out of here, go. And they say these cranes didn't make sounds. They were always quiet.
That was the one for the niggas thing. Listen.
Yes, it's. I'm telling you, if you find it, let me know.
I found the cranes on people in Tampa.
Are they showing them? Listen at the sound they make.
Then it's niggas in Tampa.
You
They
hear
didn't
that?
know what it was for.
They say those cranes never made a sound. How they walking? How they walking together?
Yeah.
They're like, niggas flee niggas.
See, and again, if you think that freedom means being next door to white people, you're gonna go and be destroyed along with them, because that's what you think. You better get back to the ghettos of North America, where it's safe at. Now what they gonna say? What about all that shooting and killing? We ain't dead yet.
And the all black towns.
So now, I'm trying to tell you that America is falling, but Black America should be rising. That's what we don't understand. For one, Obama, Kamala, tomorrow, whatever, they can't do nothing for us, Black people. Stop thinking they can. You know, we way past this one drop of black blood makes you black.
Cosplay.
We are talking about one group of people. We're talking about the children and the descendants of those who survived the transatlantic slave trade. That's what we're talking about. That's a choice group of people here. And we said transatlantic slave trade, so you can't throw that in there about the Afro-American this and that's, the Afro descendants, this and that, and they all in Brazil and this and that. No, we said the transatlantic slave trade. That's a specific group of people that came specifically from the shores of Africa, Ghana, on down that coastline, and were brought over here to America and done some of the most atrocious ways, things that you would never think that they could do to a human being. All they show you is that they beat us with the whip, you know, and maybe put us in this little thing with our hands when they're showing us on TV and stuff like that. But no, they did some things that.
And Florida originated using black babies as gator baits, so Florida.
And they still doing it. I'm glad you said that. I wanted to say that. They're still, look, when these white people kill a child or even one of the adults, they feed them to the crocodiles. That's why you never find them. They still do that. That's why you think the crocodiles hang around where mostly populated people at. Because they know that's a delicatessen to them.
Gators.
And crocs. I can't tell one from the other. They say it's their noses or something. One is shorter than the other.
But how you got both?
Yeah.
Florida, there you go.
But they both not good to be in my living room.
Dinosaurs.
So as we speak, Hurricane Milton has come down upon Florida, and also it's going to affect the Carolinas and all them places that it affected before. I don't wish death on anybody. I hate to see families suffering and whatnot, but I refuse to get in God's way.
13 minutes, Hurricane Milton hits Florida with tornadoes, surges, and wind.
I got the members here
Live.
all over their phone checking it out, looking at the hand of God, doing what he came to do.
It's an eye.
Getting them for all that they done to us.
Like
Getting them for all that they're still doing to us. getting them for all that they doing to any other oppressed people on this planet, knowing that they have the power to change that. So we first know, Palestinians second, and whoever else they doing something to in the Congo and the Sudan and all up in there. Did you all know that the Sahara Desert got flooded?
Yeah, I heard about that.
See? It's going down, y'all, on earth. Now, if y'all got any questions, y'all can put them in the inbox or whatever, and I'll look at it later, and I will respond to it. You know, sharing with you what thus said the Lord. I'm going to sign off, but I just want you all to know that the Bible told the righteous to watch and pray so that you can be found worthy to escape. Now, those who think they are the righteous, if you're not living a righteous life, if you're not praying, fasting, studying the word, living the word, then I'm not talking to you. And those who were believers and were being righteous at one time, but it just didn't seem like it was getting you nowhere, so you just dropped it and let it go and said, the hell with it. Let me be like everybody else, cussing this person out, cussing that one out, being conniving, stealing, slick, all kind of other stuff you want to be. Okay, well, you can come back. Because this month in October, for Toma, we deal with the 8 stages of atonement. How to atone and get back close to the Creator. For those who don't believe in God, how to atone and get back close and become one with nature. We're going on a 7-day fast, wanting to get closer and closer to nature so that we can be in the same vibration with nature, so that we can have nature to even protect our homes. Did y'all know that? They can protect your house. They can protect you on your way to work. Nature. But you got to be in tune.
Nature.
You got to be in tune.
Nature.
And when I say in tune, see, it ain't all about this person more righteous than you, or this one more righteous than you, and this one more righteous. That's called self-righteousness. So it ain't about that. It's about knowing that you're fighting hard to do right, and then knowing that you're using the tools that God gave you that you might constantly be able to atone. See, having that is what balances you out. So that means you're not a person who refused to accept your wrong. No, you are a person who will accept that you've been wrong and you want to make it right. You want to get back right. Whether it's with God or with nature, with oneness, with peace, with love. See, I can use all of those terms, but it all still means the same thing. It means the same thing. A lot of us, we're so caught up in the concrete jungle that anything that don't look like something that was made by man, that we don't think that it should live if it's around us. A bee or spider or snake or a rat or a roach or I'm being straight across the board, you know. This stuff God made, as opposed to stuff man made.
Are you still on there?
I think I am. Things God made. And I'm only saying it because I'm trying to get us to understand the difference here. You have to know how far caught up you are in this world. That you don't feel nothing for the trees. You don't feel nothing for plants. You don't feel nothing for just nature itself. And that you are part of nature. You're not a part of the concrete. You're not a part of the light poles or the car. You're not a part of your house. Being one with nature is being one with things that are natural. If you fall off, then it says point out your wrong. Or let somebody point it out for you. Then acknowledge it. A lot of people stop right there. A lot of people can tell you, oh yeah, I messed up yesterday. Oh yeah, I know I did this and that. But ain't making no steps to fix it. So it's more than just you acknowledging it. But how about confessing that fault? Okay, I acknowledge I did wrong. I hurt some people's feelings. I stole this from you. Yeah, when you had your back turned, I put that in my pocket. I confess to you that I did it. And I feel bad about it. They call it repentance. Feel real bad about it. I feel guilty. I won't do it again. I'm atoning. I won't do it again. Thank you for forgiving me. Forgiveness, that's the next one. Thank you for forgiving me for my wrong. But we know America don't really do that. So we got to be better than America itself. When God forgives you, he forget about it. When America say they forgave you, you'll find out they didn't when you go back to jail again one day and you standing before the judge. You be like, I thought they covered that record. I thought they, nope, it's all right here. America don't forgive you and forget. They constantly use it to remind you and to prove to the jury that you ain't worth letting out or letting you go, because look at all what they did already. God forgives you and he don't look at your past. But if you haven't came out of what he forgave you for, then you're not the person I'm talking to. I'm talking to the righteous. And to the righteous, you will escape the judgment. God don't lie. God can't lie. You will escape the judgment. But now you got to stay on it. You can't be on it today and off tomorrow and on today and off tomorrow. Clean it up. You know how far you strayed away. Clean it up. Go back and clean up your mess and get back on the straight path. Forgive. Some of us are so sick in our bodies, and it's because we can't forgive. Reconcile, restore. That's number 7. That means resolving your differences. Establish or reestablish. You see what I'm saying? A close relationship between previously divided persons. There shouldn't be nothing, especially starting in here in your temple or in your church. There should be nothing that you should not be able to sit down and talk about, and both parties using that same understanding of repentance and forgiveness to wipe the slate clean. And that person, whatever they did, if they say they're not going to do it anymore, word is bond. If word ain't bond, then God has nothing to do with you. I think it's over. It says live, so I'm going to have to cut it off. Peace, Hotep Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Baragani, Alafia, Ashe. God bless you. You?
Press the button.
Which one?
The one canceled. But it's not touch screen.
Oh, forgot about where it say end stream.
Yeah.
So it ain't gonna do the
Yeah.
oh by itself. I learned something.